What's up, y'all? It's your boy, KevOnStage, with the lovely and luxurious Miss KevOnStage.
That was a fake smile.
It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a podcast to listen to. That's
why you were singing that song just now?
Picky. If you follow the podcast, you know we have not been on the podcast.
We've been vacationing.
Since June 9th. Actually, today we are recording on July 25th. We're going to explain. We're going to take a couple seconds and just explain. If you follow us on other forms of social media, you may know this. But if you don't, you may not know this. While we're on the subject of social media, we might as well shout ourselves out. On Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, I am KevOnStage. Melissa is Miss KevOnStage on Instagram. And then you just search Miss KevOnStage on Twitter. And Facebook, what is it? Do you want to share that? Melissa Fredericks.
You can follow me on Facebook. I don't care.
She's a nice lady. And the podcast obviously is on SoundCloud and iTunes and YouTube. But anyway, if you follow us on social media, you know that our children, our lovely, lovely boys, Isaiah, D'Angelo, and Josiah Malik, a.k.a. Zayza and JoJo, the Fearless Two. I feel like they need a nickname.
They do. Zayza and JoJo.
Touche. The tiny tots. They're not tots. But anyway, they have been spending the summer with my parents in Texas. And
they're having the time of their lives.
Isn't there a Time of My Life song?
Yeah.
I have the time. Sing, you almost sang.
No, I'm not singing.
Time of my life. What is that from? Dirty Dancing? Never felt this way before.
You gotta pick her up and...
The time of my life. I'm not strong. I can pick you up.
No, don't.
Anyway, they've been with my parents for the entire summer, and we took that opportunity to travel these United States.
Yeah, good time.
Pretty much every weekend. The first weekend we went to Houston, then went to New Orleans. The next weekend we basically spent the whole weekend with our friends and went sightseeing in LA. Third weekend, Melissa's friends came to LA and they did a whole bunch of tourism stuff.
That was fun.
And I was in DC.
Podcast live.
Yep, I was in DC and I got stuck in the airport pretty much all day. We had planned to film when I got back, but thanks to United Airlines, I was stuck in airports all day long.
That was a bad day. That was Father's Day.
It was on Father's Day.
That was Father's Day.
And I came back and I was just frustrated and exhausted. The week after that, we went to Napa on our anniversary, and the internet service there was terrible, and I forgot all the podcast equipment. Then we went to New York, the 4th of July weekend, and we did Love Our Live in
shout out to Love Our Live Houston
and New York. You guys that came, and I was supposed to get the recording for New York, and I forgot my equipment again. I did remember underwear and socks this time, which I tend to forget. And Melissa tends to forget her cell phone charger every time we travel this summer. We have like 5 iPhone chargers now because she was just like...
I consistently forgot it. I will admit to that.
Everything but charger. Then we came back and went to Las Vegas.
For my birthday.
For her birthday. Congratulations on turning 21.
Thank you. That was good.
And then what happened?
Then last weekend we didn't film. And then we're filming this weekend. We're hoping to never lead you guys
that long again. I'm not going to promise we're going to be every week. It is our heart's intent to be every week, but we've been parents for 8 years. We have never been without kids for longer than a week. So we were like, get on these planes and get in this car and go see the world. And what we did was spend a lot of...
You have to say it together.
Quality time.
So, Kevin Fredericks, tell us, what is and what is it ain't?
What it is, what's up? We're going to talk about quality time. We just made this definition up, but I feel like it's a good definition. Quality time is undistracted, intimate conversation.
No.
Yes.
I'm saying this is a form of quality time. I'm not saying that is the definition of quality time.
I was making it up.
Yeah, but just conversation's a form of quality time. It is not the definition of quality time.
Okay, do we have a definition of quality time?
No, you just said you were making one up, but then you went with that. That's not really it.
I was using that as a point of reference.
Oh.
I feel like this is a good definition. Tell me yay or nay. Quality time is intimate, undistracted conversation or activities with your loved one.
Oh, you were going to add activities?
Yes.
I think you just added that because I stopped you, but that's okay. You picked it back up.
No one would ever know. So that's what we feel like quality time.
Okay, I'm gonna
like
yay your
undistracted, intimate conversations.
Hold on, when you make up your own stuff, you have to write it down. So
intimate, undistracted conversations.
No. Undistracted, intimate conversation or
activities with a loved one. And I feel like since we are in the social media age, probably more than in the past, but I feel like distractions have been prevalent forever. We have to add undistracted, right? The glory of social media and technology is you got pretty much 24/7 access to the information of the world, to your family members, and to work. Melissa luckily does not get work emailed to her personal cell phone.
I do not want that option.
I do. And I
turn it off.
I'm a workaholic. Does anybody at your job have that?
Yeah.
But you don't.
No, people in higher pay grades than me.
When I'm off, I'm off. That's what you say.
Yeah.
Well, I'm never really off. I'm always working. And if it ain't for my full-time job, then it's for stuff I'm working on for myself. So that's why we have to add undistracted, because quality time is not us together in the same room, both on our phones.
Yes.
Which
happens quite often.
Yes. We fall into that trap.
Yes. Most people do. In this day and age with technology, you will go into a restaurant, see a family at a table, and everyone is on their phone.
Yes.
You have a hole in your lip? Or no?
And we fall into that. And luckily our kids don't have phones yet. So we try to install this no phones at the dinner table rule. Yes. And that is simply to encourage us to actually look at and talk to the people
presently in front of you.
Because
you know what I was thinking about? I was listening to audible.com.
I'm glad you remembered that. We had forgot that we are supposed to plug ourselves.
Yes. So we are, take the moment. Oh, we should
pay some bills. Yes. Trying to pay some bills on the podcast.
We are officially sponsored by audible.com. You can go to audible.com/thelovehour.
Audibletrial.com.
Audible trial. Okay, start over. Rewind. audibletrial.com/lovehour. And you can, we are not good at this. So audible.com is an online streaming Audible book website.
Yes. Basically, for people like us who spend plenty of time either in cars or at work and can't flip through the pages of a book, audible.com has most of the books available spoken audibly. So you just put your headphones in, press play, and somebody reads the book to you.
Yes.
So.
And I was going to say something. You can get a 30-day trial using our code LOVEHOUR. So audibletrial.com/lovehour. You can get a free 30-day trial and your first book for free. So that's like a double whammy. And it's actually really cheap after that. It's like
$15.
Is it? I thought it was less than 10. Between $10 and $15 a month. After that, should you decide to move forward, and then you get a free book, so to speak, or a free book credit every single month after that. It's a really good deal if you want to read books but don't have time to sit down and read a book. Anyway, I was listening to a book today on my way to when I was getting my hair done, and the guy was talking about, Lord, we talked about all that Audible stuff, and I totally lost my entire train.
We're talking about social media,
quality time,
undistracted, whole family at the dinner table with their phones, no phones at the dinner table rule.
It's okay, keep going.
You lost all of it?
Yeah. Because I wanted to say what he said, not what I was saying, and all that is what we were saying, and I can't think of what he was saying.
Well, anyway, so at our dinner table with our children, there's no TV, no phones. Mm-hmm. So, and Melissa and I work on, and we're not 100%.
No, at all.
Honesty moment here. At being off of our phones, and a lot of time we don't be doing nothing.
No.
Mindless scrolling is what we do.
It's a pastime. It's a habit, and I'm actually going to work on being better at not naturally reaching for my phone.
It's just...
I know what I was going to say.
I knew that was going to happen. I'm glad I wasn't talking.
Okay. It wasn't about him. It was about what I was thinking. I was thinking about this when I was listening to the book. And it wasn't what he was saying, it was what I was thinking. And that is that we spend more time in this day and age communicating with people we don't know and can't see on our phone than we do with the people in our house.
Whoa!
I know. I got really sad thinking about how much time thinking of going back to the idea of the family sitting at a table, like if you're at a restaurant and everybody's on their phone, and yet we have we're literally texting and conversating and Facebooking and Twitter, tweeting and whatever we're doing, what's going on in life, but we're not like actually enjoying the moment with the people that are right there.
Yeah, it's like sometimes when you see like people on a date or doing anything, and they're like, and I'm guilty because, you know, part of my income comes from the posting of this social media content and the equity it has. But you spend more time Snapchatting, getting pictures for the gram, video for the gram and Facebook, and showing everybody else, look how cool I am. Look what the awesome thing that I'm doing is, that you don't end up enjoying the actual awesome thing. Like, what's going on. Yeah, like when we were growing up, you know, or even when we were in high school, the phone couldn't take pictures. Right. We actually, when we didn't get cell phones probably till the second to last year of high school, maybe our senior year.
Yeah, it was junior, senior.
Yeah, so when we would go to like theme parks or whatever, the most we would have is one of those disposable cameras, right? So there wasn't even time to take the picture and look at it. Right. So there was no cell phone. Like, so if we were at Six Flags, we were just at Six Flags. Right. Now, when you're at Six Flags, it's like, oh, Snapchatting them at Six Flags, tweeting people pictures of Instagram until your phone dies. Right. And sometimes you spend more time doing that and showing people what you're doing than you're actually like doing the things. Or as couples, you just end up, since we get our news, and I feel like this isn't completely brand new to our generation, because I feel like when the TV was introduced, people probably felt the same way. Like, we're just sitting with the TV on, or the newspaper or whatever. So it's not totally now, but I feel like we have the TV and phone and iPad and computer. So we have like just bombarded by images. So we'll be sitting in the bed, Melissa, and sometimes we catch ourselves, then we'll be like, all right, 2 minutes, phones away. Yeah. You know, we end up having this game where like I get on her, she gets on me. You on your phone? You always on your phone. Or I want to talk to her and she's on her phone, so then I pick up my phone. As opposed to just saying, hey, I want to talk to you. Look me in the eye. And she does the same thing. So, so it's definitely a conscious effort of saying, you know, let's go in airplane mode. Yes. More often than not, nothing's going to happen.
You're not going to miss anything on social media.
No.
Because nothing's really happening on social media.
Well, Drake and Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj and Safari.
Listen, and we be caught up in their lives.
You know what? Somebody got me so cold. Somebody wrote a fake Instagram caption about TMZ is reporting Meek Mill's mad about this because Nicki did this and Safari did this, and now Drake's in the studio, and at the end it said, I just made all this up and you wasted your time reading it. And I was like, I totally wasted my time.
Totally caught up in it.
It's just, who cares?
At the end of the day. No.
Who cares?
No. At the end of the day, we care.
Yes.
Because it's all the rage on Twitter. There's all these memes. So in actuality, we do care. But we have to like prioritize our lives to make sure that we're not missing out on the things that actually matter. I really don't think that there's anything with entertainment for the form of entertainment. But when you miss out on Nicki Minaj and Drake and all of that, it's not news. It's just entertainment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with simply being entertained. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you don't get so caught up in their life that you miss what's going on in your own life.
Woo! You're 2 for 2 on woo moment. Yeah, our total consumption of celebrity culture is what makes people like Kim Kardashian able to get a $100 million deal.
You look on the, the Shade Room will post something, and there's always a gazillion people that are like, who cares? Who cares? First of all, you follow the Shade Room for exactly these type of posts.
Right. And they have a million followers for a reason.
So if you didn't care, you wouldn't be following them. So don't, who cares? You do. You do care.
You care enough to comment that you don't care.
And you care enough to follow them in the first place, knowing this is the type of thing they're going to post.
Their whole business model is built on that.
And really, there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't get so caught up in it.
Don't be caught up. Your makeup looks really good.
Thank you. Kev called it
Frozen.
Frozen.
Because you got blue sparkles and then you got purple.
You can't really see it. I'm really excited about it, but the camera's not really.
Glitter.
I kind of did like a wing liner. I'm really excited.
Let it go! Let it go!
I posted about it on Instagram. I was really excited about it.
Hypocrite.
I know I only posted about it because you try to blast me about my stuff.
Yeah, because you take up the entire sink. If our sink is 100 square feet, which it ain't, it's like 10 inches. Her side is 9.5 inches.
That's fine. I just need I need a vanity and or a separate bathroom.
We don't share this bathroom. Me having one thing of deodorant and a toothbrush in the bathroom is not sharing. That's your bathroom.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
So if I take these 2 items out of the bathroom, now it's all your stuff.
Right.
That's not sharing.
No. It absolutely is sharing. By definition, it's sharing. What's mine?
It's not equally sharing.
Okay. Well, you didn't say equally.
Separate but equal, man. Shout outs to the blacks. Let's come back to our point.
Yes.
So that tangent was quality time isn't being consumed with our phones, tablets.
Sitting next to each other with your phone.
It's not distracted time. It is undistracted time. Quality time also is not sex. Is that 100% sure?
I'm asking you that because I think that for women, intimate conversation, intimate, undistracted time will eventually lead to sex. But I guess for a man, I mean, it could be considered. Yeah. It is a form of quality time. It's just, I don't know, we were talking about maybe having levels of quality time, but for a man and a woman, it might be different.
Well, I guess in our definition, we talked about if you're having sex, hopefully you're having undistracted sex. You don't have your phone in your hand like, ooh, man, let me Snapchat this. Whoa, baby. Well, that was a move. But I guess if you're into it, it could be a form of quality time.
Yes.
Right.
We're going to go with a form of quality time.
Okay. So we're back to just quality time is just not being together but distracted. What about texting?
What's your question?
Could texting can be, well, that's, I guess, a communication thing.
Yeah. More than I wouldn't consider it because it's the intimate part. I don't feel like...
You don't feel like you could be intimately texting? I mean, not sexting. I mean, like... No?
No. I mean, we could have a very good conversation via text. But if I'm being intimate with you, I feel like by nature the word intimate is that we're together.
Yeah. I'll give you that. So now we know what it isn't. It's not being distracted. It's not just being in the room together, but not on the same page. It's not me watching the game on my iPad and she's watching, I don't know what you watch on TV. Mary.
Sure. I do watch Mary.
So it's not that. But it is intimate conversation or undistracted conversation. So us, like, and it doesn't have to be, it could be in the same room. If we're just in the bedroom with the TV off and the phone off, talking, it doesn't have to be about intimate details. That's quality time. It's also when we went to...
No. When I say intimate, what do you think I mean when I say intimate?
Undistracted, like...
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily you don't mean the subject matter, do you?
So, to a certain degree, a little bit of it does matter. I don't want to have like a very, like, just a conversation for the sake of conversation. I want to have a conversation, like an intimate conversation, maybe about us, about our future, like a real conversation.
I don't think you have to be talking about real stuff for it to be intimate and quality. I feel like you could be telling me how your day was bad at work, and that could be an intimate quality conversation. Well, I guess like that's about us.
You can have an undistracted conversation, you can have a quality conversation, or you can have an undistracted, quality, intimate conversation.
I'm not good at math. I don't know what you just said. You can have what now?
You can have an undistracted conversation. We're just talking about nothing, but I'm giving you my undivided attention. Okay. We can have a quality conversation where I have your undivided attention. Maybe we're talking about something a little bit deeper than just surface level stuff. If we're having an intimate conversation, we're talking about me and you. We're talking about our future. We're talking about like an intimate conversation.
I can get with that. Men's doesn't
need.
I don't reckon so.
Men may not need conversation. It's not like something that they crave the way women crave a conversation. when you think about it, again, I was listening to this book. I'm going to tell you the name of the book. I'm going to find it in a minute. They were talking about the number one thing that starts emotional affairs is conversation.
Really?
It's the need of conversation that a man, because normally the woman is the one that falls into emotional affairs.
Yeah.
It is the need to talk and have a conversation that she isn't getting that attracts her to the man that starts off the emotional affair.
So it isn't me gaining weight or none of that stuff. It's a lack of conversation. I feel like if you thought about that, you think if I let myself go or whatever, that would lead to an affair.
For a man or for a woman?
For a woman. Well, I guess
I let myself go?
No. If I let myself go. Mm. So what you're saying is the first thing to go that leads to an affair for women is the conversation.
No, I'm not saying it's the first thing to go. I'm just saying that the first thing that a man will fulfill in an emotional affair is conversation.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because it's not physical.
I'm going through the people who I know who had affairs in my mind that are women. And most of the time it was an emotional affair first. Mm-hmm. You don't listen to me. He was just...
It's just talking.
Talked it right out them jaws, didn't he? Okay, that's good to know. So I won't let that conversation go. Mm-hmm. Every time I feel like I'm not paying you attention, I'm going to be like, if you don't talk to her, you're walking her into another man's arms. He ain't going to talk the jaws off of you, let me tell you that. Right now.
Next one.
Okay, so we talked about what it isn't. And in another podcast, we talked about communication, and there's three sides, but two are quality. I guess all three are quality. Mm-hmm. Face to face, that's us talking to each other. Hello, Melissa. How was your day? Our future. There's side by side activities. So when we went to New York, for example,
so much fun.
Yeah, Melissa said it was her favorite vacation that we ever did. And we've been to Jamaica, Mexico.
Mexico's terrible.
Bahamas. We had horse rides.
That was fun.
Yeah. But anyway, we went to the September 11th museum.
Oh my God.
And
everyone should go.
Completely sobering experience. But technically that's a side-by-side activity that's quality time.
Man.
If it's undistracted, which we put our phones away, partly because we want to spend quality time, and another partly because they said you have to. Like, hold on, man, I paid the $25. Okay.
They're like, you ain't no taking cell phone, no pictures.
But I totally respect it because
I had to throw my sandwich away. Where was it, Kat?
Cat's Deli.
Cat's Deli. I bought a full sandwich. Them jokers are humongous. I could only eat half of it, and I knew we were getting on the plane that day. I was going to eat it right before the plane, and I was going to be full, and everything was going to be good. And we walked in that line, they were like, no food. I was like.
And the thing that made it worse is everybody had backpacks on. So if you had a backpack and put it in your bag, but you didn't have it, they were like, what's this delicious $20 sandwich? In the trash!
I'm not going to eat it. I promise I won't. I promise. They didn't care about my life or my $20.
You couldn't spill pastrami and cheese on the artifacts. But anyway, going to the museum is a side-by-side activity. We went to New Orleans and we did alligator touring. I don't know what's that called. Swamp tour. That's also a side-by-side activity.
Which almost led to just a one-sided activity because this fool decided he wanted to touch was it an alligator or a crocodile?
Alligator.
The alligator.
All I touched was the hem of his garment.
No, you almost fell out the boat thing.
I did not. I was acting for exaggeration.
No, he almost fell.
Anyway, that leads us to our last point on quality time. It's vacationing. Me and Melissa are huge proponents of vacation.
He is more so than
I am huge, and since she's married to me, she is therefore a huge proponent of vacationing. I come from a history of vacationers. Mind you, we were not rich, but we vacationed. We would save up, go on vacation, and be broke, and come back home and save up again. And I mean, generations of vacationers. My parents vacationed. My grandma has been on like 50 cruises. She put me and Lisa on the cruising, which we love.
So much fun.
And we've found that a lot of couples do not vacation.
It's so important. You really should.
Ever.
You don't have to vacation as much as this guy will lead you to believe that you should.
No.
But you absolutely should vacation together without your children.
Without your kids. Now, this is the longest time we've ever had them gone
right.
in the same stretch, but we've taken plenty of a trip, and we leave them with our parents. It was much easier in Washington when we had a lot of people to live with that they could go with. But I firmly believe that your children will leave you, and you have to make sure your relationship stays the course all throughout the parenthood. Yes. Because your marriage... Go ahead.
You want... I got a tip. I heard this somewhere, and it's good. You want to build a relationship that will outlast your kids' tenure at home.
Yes. That's good, babe. Because most kids leave the house. Mm-hmm. Barring some unforeseen circumstances, your kids eventually leave. And you don't want your relationship to go with them. Because a lot of times, we caution against this. People fall into the roles. Mm-hmm. Mom, dad, whatever your job title is. If you're in the Army, sergeant, Army wife, whatever. And them kids ship out to college. When the last one leaves, you're like...
You have no idea who this person is that you've been married to for 25 plus years.
Right. And we didn't really... I knew I love my kids. And you love your kids. And we love our kids.
And we miss them.
And we miss them dearly. But I didn't realize how much of our life revolved around them until they were gone. Mm-hmm. For like the first week, I was just like... There's no reason to... There's no dinner to cook. There's no homework. There's no...
I went semi-grocery shopping today for the first time since...
June 9th, when this last podcast.
Yeah. Like, for real. Now, we've just been enjoying this life.
When you have school-age children, if you're a good parent, a large portion of your marriage revolves around
your day-to-day schedule revolves around them.
And their activity.
Make sure you're at home, and you can get homework done, baths, dinner, and the bed by 8:30.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with raising good kids. There's also nothing wrong with hiring a babysitter for a night. And the thing is, Melissa and I are into better financial straits in our life than we were when our kids were like 3 and 1, and we were paying for like daycare, diapers, formula.
God bless all you parents out there with children in diapers, formula, and daycare that's close to your rent.
2 times in our life, our daycare bill was more expensive than our rent. When Zay was first born, our apartment was like $675, and daycare was like $850. Yep. And then when JoJo was first born, I think we were in the house. Our mortgage was like $1,200, and daycare was like $14 or $15.
Yep, you're right.
And I was just like, it cost me more to live than to drop y'all off for 7 hours. So that makes it difficult, right? So we, at those early stages, and when we weren't at the stage we are in our careers either, so it was nothing more than dropping them off with Melissa's sister, and just doing a trade for kids. Yes. Like, you take our kids this weekend, and we'll take your kids another weekend, and we would just go. Sometimes we just would not have the kids and be in Washington. Yes. Other times we'd go to Portland, which was just like a 2-hour drive or whatever.
You should stay there though, Kev, because you don't always have to go out. And another thing that he did 3 lines because he's feeling some type of way too. His kids aren't here, so he got these Father, Son, Holy Ghost lines. But one thing that we did when we had friends here, and actually I do want to do this. We should do it like next weekend because it's our last weekend before the kids come. Be a tourist in your own home.
Staycation. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Get rid of your kids and act like you're here visiting, because a lot of times you'll live in a town and you never see what tourists come to your town to see.
We lived in Washington for 13 years. And you lived there for 14 years. Mm-hmm. The Space Needle is a tourist attraction to pretty much anyone who comes to Seattle.
We saw the Space Needle. I saw it the other day.
Yeah. We saw the Space Needle like 4 months before we left.
One time. Yeah.
Where we actually paid the money to go up. Yeah. When we were in New York and we posted a picture of the Statue of Liberty, people were like, I've lived here my whole life and have never like got on the boat to go to the Statue of Liberty. Yeah. So it's as simple as that. It could be going to the beach, to the movies, to a cabin, wherever you live, there's something to do. Even if you live in, Huntsville, Alabama, you can go visit slave quarters or something. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Go visit Edward Selma Bridge.
The point is,
Do something. You don't have to have money to go on a cruise. And we also are proponents of going on vacation with your children.
Yes. Right?
So a lot of people do that before they go without their kids, right? So I think, we always take some vacation, usually almost Melissa's birthday or anniversary, if not both. This summer was both, thank God. To God be the glory. But at least that time. And in the winter time, we take a family vacation where we take the boys somewhere. So we're not against family vacation. We are just marriage champions for non-children vacation. Because we have seen in our own lives how difficult it is when you have not had, intimacy throughout your marriage, but you have been doing a good job of parenting.
Right.
Basically, you're basically co-parenting in the house.
Right.
And then your kids leave.
Parenting does not lead to a good marriage. Good parenting does not lend itself necessarily to a good marriage.
Those are two totally separate ideas. Mm-hmm. Which is why I don't believe that just because you have a pregnancy, an unplanned pregnancy, you should have a wedding. Because co-parenting and marriage are two separate ideas. Right. They are designed to go hand in hand.
And they should.
And they should go.
In the ideal world.
Go hand in hand. In theory, you should be married and then have children later. But it doesn't always happen like that.
In this real world that we live in, it doesn't always happen that way.
Children often happen.
Children often happen.
Marriages sometimes fail and sometimes succeed. But them kids be in children's church. We be in the church trying to act like no ain't nobody having sex. Children's church be popping. In every denomination. We went to a white church for almost a year in LA. Children's church was popping.
Yes, it was.
I mean, the kids had play places.
They did. Music, theaters.
Children's church is in these streets.
Yeah, it was nice.
So, would you like to sum up our...
So, in closing, thank you for joining us today on this. I got to practice my voice. Thank you so much for joining us today on this edition of The Love Hour with Kevin and Melissa Frederick.
Why are you Ari McArison? Sound like a flight attendant when they had the pre-recorded video.
So basically, to wrap up, we are talking about quality time and the need for undistracted, intimate conversation or activities. Having face-to-face and side-to-side activities and conversations. Knowing that quality time doesn't always mean sex, but sex can be and is a form of quality time. The importance of vacation with and without your children. And I think that's it.
And the importance of not being distracted. Did you say that?
No, you can emphasize it again.
And calling that quality time.
Yes.
Because distracted time is just that, distracted. If I'm just next to Melissa and I'm texting or I'm emailing for work or I'm editing a video, and she's just in my space.
Right.
She's near me, but I'm not spending quality time with her. She's just near me. The same way if I'm on a train, people are around me. Are you about to say that?
Yes, that was my exact thought, was the train when we were in New York.
Yeah. We're on a train to New York, from Baltimore to New York. And I'm texting and emailing. I'm spending no more quality time with Melissa and to the passenger to my left.
Dang. That was my exact thought.
Synergy, babes. So that's it for the podcast. I'm glad. I hope y'all are still around in the world listening.
Yes. We got so many emails, Instagram tags, tweets. Y'all caught us slipping. We had a fantastic summer.
It won't happen again.
It will not happen again. We thank you guys for tuning in for our comeback on today's episode.
Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for weeks.
Years. Weeks.
Also, thank you for emailing us. If you have questions, you can send them to KevOnStage@gmail. Dear Kevin List, KevOnStage@gmail. Sometimes help us think of topics for the podcast. And or to share your thanks or whatever, or to just be mad at us. One thing I want you guys to understand and hope you forgive us for, we are not professional podcasters.
No.
We are not professional entertainers. We got full-time jobs.
Yes.
We got full-time kids.
Yes.
And we was on full-time vacation.
Yes.
So we was literally getting off work on Friday and going to the airport or getting on the road.
Literally.
For 7 weeks.
It was great.
And it was great. And now we're glad, and we're back, glad to be back home and glad to be back on the podcast.
Yeah. So again, thank you guys so much. I am Miss KevOnStage. And you can find me at Miss KevOnStage on Instagram and Twitter. Melissa Fredericks on Facebook.
KevOnStage everywhere I go, everywhere I be. YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter.
He has way too many social media
Periscope.
accounts.
I don't use Periscope.
Oh. And I was going to say something else. Oh, and don't forget audible.com.
Audibletrial.com.
Audibletrial.com/lovehour. Some of the books that we recommend, I'm just going to read them off really quickly because I get asked this like at least it feels like once a day. Some of the books that I recommend, actually I took pictures of it so I don't have to do this. And then we can go, Kev.
Okay, baby.
But I really do get access all the time.
I know, baby.
You do? Sorry, I'm taking one.
I'm going to just give it a musical interlude while she finds a picture.
No, I found it. First one, The Good Girl's Guide to Great Sex by Sheila Gregoire. For Women Only by Shanti Feldhahn. And Love and Respect by Dr. Emerson Eggridge. And that's it. And I'm reading a new one now. I'll give you my opinion on it once I'm finished with it.
And The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman.
The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman's another book that we recommend.
And Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
That's a good book. It's not Christian based, but it is a good book.
And then what about Waffling? I gotta get the title.
I thought we read another book, Kev.
Every Man's Battle?
That's it. Or no, is that it?
Every Woman's Battle?
Anyway, audibletrial/lovehour.com/lovehour.
We're gonna work on these things because we are so new to this. We don't be knowing. We gotta get better. We're gonna pay these bills. Amen? If all hearts and minds are clear, till we meet again.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.